Hey guys, it's your girl Shay, and we're gonna get right into this. So we're doing 3 exercises to level up your leg day game. So I have a bunch of footage from like my past leg days when I film week of workouts. By the way, if you ever want to see any of them, check out my channel. But I just thought like I could give you guys some, a little bit of exercise, a little bit of a inside information, you know what I'm saying? So these are the exercises that I've been doing for the past 6 months, and I've been seeing a lot of progress. And before, my leg day used to be, I would just focus on hip thrusts, hip thrusts, hip thrusts. That was the huge thing that was popular. But now I am focusing on single leg exercises because I want to fix glute imbalances. So I used to have a glute imbalance and I actually fixed it, which is perfect because now I want to show you these tips and tricks, okay? So the first exercise on my list is these reverse lunges. Now, I like these because first of all, they hit your legs singly. So if you do have a glute imbalance, because I know a lot of ladies ask me questions about that, you can fix it. I like to carry a weight in each hand, just make sure it's nice and challenging. So here I have the 25 pounds. Usually I will start off with 25 pounds, move up to 30, and then 35 would be the heaviest that I would use. So 35 on each side, make sure things are nice and balanced. I was diagnosed with scoliosis, which means my spine is curved. Doing double leg exercises like compound movements, it was starting to get a little bit difficult because I could feel one side working more than the other. So if that's how you guys feel, you may have a glute imbalance. So I decided to fix this, and by doing that, I just started focusing on single leg exercises. And I'm telling you, this is going to level up your game, okay? You're gonna see strength, because sometimes usually when I'm doing exercise, I think, okay, you know what, I've got this exercise, I'm hitting heavy weights, blah, 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 and then go to do a single leg exercise, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Why can't I lift this 20-pound weight? You know what I mean? My legs are weak. So by working on my strength in each leg separately, now I can lift a lot heavier because they are combined stronger than each other. So this is great. I love this exercise because you can do it as a circuit where, as you see here, I can just do each leg one at a time with little to no rest in between. So you kind of get some cardio in there, work up a nice sweat. If I'm moving up to heavier weights, then I kind of want to rest a little bit more. So I'm going to do each leg separately. So I'm going to target my weak leg first, and then I'm going to move on to my stronger leg. And this just allows me to really focus and really exhaust the muscles, really focus on the form. I can make sure that my glutes are activated. I'm not feeling this in my quads, you know what I mean? Like I just want to make sure I'm feeling it in the right spot, and my glutes are burning after this exercise. I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this for the past 6 months. My glutes are always sore the next day, which means I'm challenging myself and I am breaking up the muscles to build them back up. The second exercise to level up your leg day game is step ups with dumbbells. Now, if you hate Bulgarian split squats like I do, okay, I just feel like they are the devil's exercise. I've been doing step ups. So now this assisted pull-up machine is actually broken. It's broken for like over a year now. So I like to use this so I can help with my balance. So I'm not using this to pull myself up. I'm using it as like a balance, Focusing on my balances is one of the goals that I have for this year. But what I do is I take a dumbbell, so usually a 25-pound dumbbell. I'll use some wrist straps, and then I'm going to rest this on the non-working leg. So the working leg is going to be the one on the little like podium, and this is like the perfect height for me because I just lower down slowly until my toe touches the ground, and then I try to work on not pushing up off the ground, instead just tapping it and moving back up. So that means I'm going to be using the working leg to pull myself up and lower myself down. So if you can master that, then you will start to see a lot of muscle gain and muscle growth. Now, I like this exercise because it targets my quads as well as my glutes. Now, I always get such a great glute pump, and as you can see, I'm leaning forward, and that's just going to hit my glutes a lot more. This is mimicking the action of the reverse lunges as you saw in the beginning. So it's definitely a great single leg exercise. And using this and using the assisted pull-up machine, I can really focus on lowering myself to the ground slowly, getting that mind to muscle contraction. I found that really slowing down the motions and feeling the exercise really has helped with my muscle growth. When you do things a little too quickly, you know, other muscles take over. So I really want to target those like slow twitch muscles. So, you know, look at me, I'm exhausted. This exercise takes a lot out of me. By the last rep, I'm just exhausted, okay? Like my legs are shaking. Every time I do this exercise, my legs are shaking. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a great leg day. So I like to start off my exercise with these. So my leg day starts off with the hardest exercise, and this is the hardest for me. So I will do this right at the beginning, you know, tear up my legs, you know, just make sure they're all nice and sore. And then I'll move into like my accessory work. But this has helped me so much, and just having something to help with the balance is just amazing. So if you don't have that machine at your gym, you can literally use a wall. You can use anything as long as you have some elevation. And you don't need to go this high too. I'm a tall girl. So you can just use, you know, stack up some plates, use some elevation. Really, you can get creative with this. But I do personally really like this exercise, and I would recommend it to a lot of people. I would find it's a little bit more on the advanced side because you have to focus on balancing yourself, also focusing on slowing down the motion when you're descending, and then slightly tipping the ground, and then lifting back up with the muscles. So it's definitely an exhausting exercise, but it is very rewarding, I'm telling you. I usually like to do these in sets of 10, so I will take a minute break in between. I have a sports watch that I wear on my wrist, so I make sure my breaks are timed. By the end of it, I'm just like, I'm exhausted, you know what I mean? So this is just a great exercise to work your legs, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes. I feel this a lot in my glute minimus, glute maximus. So this is a great exercise all around, targets all your glutes. I would definitely recommend this. And once you master this, you can get into a lot heavier weights. So now my top weight is like 35 pounds. You can go heavier. And because you're slowing down these movements, you don't have to go too heavy, and you will definitely still feel this. So challenge yourself and try it out. The third exercise would be these Romanian deadlifts, so RDLs with a barbell. So sometimes I'm feeling lazy, I don't want to load up those Olympic barbells, so I'm just using a preloaded one. So this is 80 pounds, and so I like to go heavy with these so I really feel the resistance. So I'm doing these a little bit glute focused, so I'm keeping a slight bend in my knee. Now if you didn't keep the bend in your knees, then you're going to be targeting the hamstrings more. So this already targets the hamstrings, but I'm just making it a little bit more glute focus. In this video, I said I would show you exercises to level up your glutes game, and I definitely saw a lot of progress from targeting my hamstrings. So this, when you target your hamstrings, it's gonna make your like booty shelf kind of sit up. So if you're looking for that shelf type booty, definitely target your hamstrings. I neglected my hamstrings for a long time, but now I've just loved targeting them. You know, it just makes the glutes a lot rounder, a lot firmer, makes sure they're nice and it sits up. So with this exercise, you want to imagine like you're sitting back. So the way I imagine is if there's a wall behind me and I'm bending down to touch the wall with my glutes, but I'm doing it in a way where I'm not just bending over, because that's when you're going to start hurting your back. I'm thinking of this as a push back motion. So I'm pushing back my hips. It's a hips hinging movement. So this took a while to kind of master for me. But one thing you can do if this is, you know, a very difficult move for you is put your back against a wall. So if you push back against a wall, you should only be touching the wall with your glutes. And that kind of cues you. And this tells you that you've lowered enough to target your hamstrings, and now you can focus on pulling back up. So one thing that I learned is that you don't imagine this to be a just straight bend down exercise, like as if you're picking something off the ground. It's not that. So you want to keep your eyesight down to the ground, but you also want to make sure that you're pushing back with your hips. So as if you're trying to like close a car door or touch the wall. With this, I'm not trying to make the barbell touch all the way down to my toes. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get down to where I get a good, nice stretch in my hamstring, and then I'm going to be pulling back up. And as I'm pulling back up, I'm squeezing my glutes to activate them. And this is it just gives me such a great glute pump. My hamstrings are always worked out after this. Like I feel great. The heavier that you go, I just feel a lot better. If I go too light with this, I have to do a lot more reps. So right now I'm at the weight where I can do like 80 pounds and up. It's just such a great exercise. I definitely encourage you to try try it. You can do this with just dumbbells as well. If you know, if this is a little bit too heavy, the preloaded barbells is a little bit too heavy. You can do it with a plate, you can do it body weight, you can do it with booty band. There's so many options. But yeah, let me know what your favorite exercise is down below, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.